Hello friends, I know we are meeting after a long time. This time I have developed a utility network in my GIS application. So you can see over here I have developed a power distribution utility network. So here it is a substation followed by a couple of transformers and then pole and ultimately the consumer meters, and all of them are connected through a HV cable from substation to transformer, then a MV or LV cable, and then service lines. So this is how the network is connected. And here arrow in the middle shows the direction of the flow, current flow. So it is flowing in a radial directions as it is shown here. So now since it is a topologically built network, we can perform various kind of a tracing analysis like upstream and downstream tracing. So as you can see on the screen, I have provided an input box where I can provide the node from where I want to do the tracing, and I can perform a downstream and upstream tracing. So let me select the node 1, which is a substation. The number 1 represents the node. So I'll select the node 1, and when I click on the trace downstream, you can see over here it has shown the tracing result with a cyan color. So entire network has been traced. Now, if I select a particular pole, say pole number 16 on the right hand side, I'll just provide the pole number 16, and now if I do the downstream trace, you can see it has done the downstream trace from the pole. Similarly, I can do the upstream trace also. So if I select the meter number 12, which is a consumer meter, I'll just type down node 12 here, and if I select trace upstream, then you can see it has performed the upstream trace right from the consumer meter through pole to the transformer and ultimately reaching to the substation. So I can perform anything upstream and downstream trace in this topologically connected network. I have a button here to pair the trace results. Now not only through this input box, but now I can perform the tracing right on the map. So I just have to right click any object and select trace upstream or downstream. Now since this is a consumer meter, I can perform upstream. So I just click on this trace upstream and you can see the result. Similarly, I can click on any asset, say this transformer, and I select trace downstream. So it will perform the downstream trace and show all the result on the map. So I can keep on performing various kind of upstream and downstream trace. You can see over here. So it is doing the downstream trace from this pole, so these 2 meters as well as other pole and other meters. Now I can extend this application to perform various kind of a reporting like how many customers connected to a particular pole, what is the length of the cable connected to this particular pole downstream or upstream, whether it is a HV cable, LV cable, service line cable. So all those lengths reporting, customer reporting. If a particular transformer is down, then how many customers will be affected? So totally 5 customers will be affected. How many poles are there in the network? So all those kind of reporting and charting I can do. So I will extend this application to perform all those reporting and charting. In addition to that, you might wonder that how this tracing is working. What if user is continuously doing the digitization? I'll just clear the trace and let us do the digitization. So I will open up a QGIS, and now I am adding a customer over here. So I selected the meter, and now I am adding a meter over here in the network. Just click OK. And now I am connecting this meter through service line. Now here it is a substation, and then this is the downstream direction. So here it is not necessary that you have to digitize in a particular direction. I am digitizing in a reverse direction from meter to a pole. So first node and then second node to a poles. Just right click. So this line has been created. I'll just save this, and thus digitization is done in QGIS. Now let me come back to our web application and let me refresh the page. You can see over here a new meter has been added and it is connected to the pole. But if you carefully look at the direction of the flow, it is reverse, because in the QGIS I have digitized from meter to the pole. So here the flow is reverse. So tracing may not work. Let us do the tracing. If I do the downstream trace from this particular pole, you can see only 3 meters are selected. This is not selected because end user has digitized in a wrong direction. But should we depend on the digitization direction by the end user? No, we should not depend. So what I have done is, let me clear the trace, and here I have provided a option to correct the flow. So as soon as I click that, it will correct the flow, and here the message direction corrected. And now if I refresh the page, that flow direction has been corrected because we have provided an option over here to correct the flow if it is wrong. So now the direction has been corrected. Now if I just right click this feature and say downstream trace, you can see all the objects are built traced. So this meter is connected logically. If I perform the right click and say upstream, then it will perform the upstream trace. So it is completely connected logically to the network, and now I can perform all upstream and downstream trace. Now what is the future? Like, I cannot have a button like this and every time user has to click to correct the flow. What we can do is we can have this button to function in the background. So whenever there is any digitization, it will automatically detect the new features and it will correct the flow in the background. So anytime user is performing tracing or any analysis on the web, it will be the accurate tracing which corrected the flow into the network. So this is how I have developed. It has got lot of future applications. So I will extend it to do various kind of a reporting, charting, analysis for utility network. It can be a power distribution, gas distribution, water, any kind of a utility. It can be useful. So share your inputs, which kind of functionality you think can be served through this kind of a data model and application, how I should extend this model, what all configuration and feature I should provide so that end user can perform their job very easily. I hope you are finding it useful. Share your input, share with your friends, and thank you for your time.